Boarding, nice.
My favorite job, kicking out bots.
Yeah. Participants, invite.
How fast that is.
Pretty impressive, really.
I'm gonna mute, turn down. Just joined, let them know you're here.
What? Oh, I need to let you in. That's dumb.
Then do you want to make me,
Yeah, I'll make you the host.
and I could be chat people manager. Okay, 31 people. You tell me you're ready for
I'm
people to come
good.
in. You're good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Hayden.
How are you, Travis?
Good man. How are you?
Great. It's a good day here in the Slant office. Hannah is not feeling well today, so Thomas and I get to take over, which is a blast. I love running the
It's
webinar.
gonna be pretty fun.
I don't get to do this that much anymore. You all probably prefer Hannah at this point. I'm gonna log into Noah's Mystery Machine account. Thomas is busy admitting everybody and getting all the note takers kicked out. This is, as you all know, this will be ready on YouTube um, today. It usually takes me about a day to get there. Um, cool. What we're going to cover today is um, some recent improvements to PDF filler. Um, in the past, the way PDF filler worked is um, you sent the PDF to Hannah or Emma or someone on our team, and we added it to our backlog and got it queued up. And that, as you probably know, was kind of a slow process. It took us a long time to get those just because they were pretty intensive at the start. So we made the process way smoother to getting new documents set up and democratized it. So we gave you the ability um, to get your documents uploaded and to map all the right fields so that you and your team members, when you are ready to um, fill a PDF, it just goes really fast. So we'll cover that, and then we'll probably just open it up to questions and help folks get answers to their questions. So anything before we get started?
Let's dive in.
Great. Let me share my screen here. I went to Schwab today and just downloaded a form. So it was like the charitable distribution form that I found on Schwab. But it'll work the exact same for all the different any different form you have. So the way it's going to work is you will go into your Slant account. Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of all the Zoom things that pop up. You'll go into your Slant account and you'll go to settings up here. This is a dummy account that one of our team members is making for Scooby Doo. And I'm logged into Fred's account here. So you go into settings, and the very bottom option is document filler. So if you have, I'll just go ahead and delete this one so we can start over. If our team has uploaded documents for you in the past, it will show up here. Um, Otherwise, it'll look just like this, and you can hit upload PDF. I'm going to name this, let me go find the file first. It's this one. I'm going to call it individual Schwab charitable distribution. Okay. And you'll hit upload. That brings the file in. We start doing a bunch of AI recognition to rename fields. So this is the PDF, and you can see over here it identified all the fillable fields from the PDF, and it is in the process of naming them. So we'll be patient while it does that. Um, there's three toggles over here, three columns of toggles. The first is, well, I'll come back to signing date. The first one that is toggled on right now is the show on form. Is that finished? That means, is it fillable or not? Or did we screw it up? And then, of course, you can make that red thing won't move. You can make that a required field so that when you or your team members go to fill out this form, it's required and you can't submit it without um, doing it, doing that field. Label is going to be really important, especially as you get down to fields that are like first name. Like I probably over engineer some of these things, but I would do like client first name, client middle name, client last name. And I just do that by looking like at the header. And then, so I would take a little bit of time going through the naming because it's going to help you a lot later. And the one way down here at the very bottom, there's some signature fields. So that's where I'm getting back to this first column here. Whoa. As you can see, when you hover over different things, it highlights that. So it jumps you to that different um, part of the document. Okay, this signature field, I'm going to name it signature account holder, just like the document has it. And then today's date, I'm going to just call it signature, today's date, and signature print name, so that we know that those are signature fields. These first two, I'm going to mark as sign and date fields. I'll show you what that means in a moment. Okay, so I mark those as sign and date fields. That means they don't show up on the form. And I won't mark them as required, but you can. Any questions up to now? Cool. This is a great example of like where it kind of gets confusing is like create standing authorization 3. That's a third time that create standing authorization has shown up in the PDF. So if you want to name it something more specific, like maybe this is distribution instructions, like, yeah, I would probably call it like distribution instructions, create standing authorization, like that. That'll just help you in the mapping stage when you're mapping your slant fields into these different PDF fields. It'll help you know where you are so you're not screwing up your mapping. And then if we screwed up the order too, you can just drag and move them around. Cool. Yeah, like this one, it just says name. That's not super helpful, but if you look on the PDF, you can see charity name. This is the charity name. For benefit of, you can name it like the charity for benefit of field. Charity attention. Cool. We'll move on to field groups. So you'll see in a lot of these, let me find a good example. Right here, distribution instructions. Oh yeah, that's this first one. Perfect. This is like a multiple choice or a single choice with two options. You can either choose one-time distribution for check amount or recurring distribution for check amount. You can see we automatically did that by bringing in one-time distribution or recurring so that you don't see those two fields pop up on the form and only one gets checked. Another one is frequency. You can only choose weekly, monthly, last business day, every 2 months, quarterly, semi-annually, annually. Those are like multiple selection groups, field groups. This right here, authorization option, you can do both. So we allow multiple selections. And maybe that is an example of one that shouldn't be grouped together. I don't know. I don't know how this form works, honestly. But you can go in and edit those things. Cool. Questions on field groups, how that'll work?
Seems good.
Cool. Conditional fields. Sorry, I got hot in here. Conditional fields, for example, is like if you check one-time distribution, then we need to ask you, well, what's the amount? What's the one-time distribution amount? And we only show this field. We show the field one-time distribution amount. That's everything after the question mark. When one-time distribution for check amount, yeah, is checked. So if this is checked, then this field shows up, is checked. Are there questions on that? That one can be a little tricky. Cool. So, for example, show the qualified charity name when donate anonymously is checked. So if it's not checked, that field will not show up. and then on to mappings. Mappings, this is where kind of the magic of PDF filler all comes together. Otherwise, you just have a PDF at this point, unfilled. So the whole point of PDF filler is you have a lot of context in the CRM, in Slant, and you have PDFs that you have to fill. You know how as outdated as filling a PDF is, it's the reality for many of you still. So we want to help you take your Slant data, get it out of Slant and into this Schwab form. So for what this does is when you pop this up, it's going to take your IA firm name and it's going to fill it with your company firm name, an IA master account number, and your service team and your contact name. So contact name, we're going to map your advisor full name. If you have custom fields for stuff like this, then you can always come in and do it. Otherwise, you're just going to be typing that in, and it's going to be a little bit faster, but it's going to require some input on your end. Service team, same thing. You're going to go in and you're going to say, this is the whatever team, Minneapolis team. IA telephone number, you're piping in your phone number. IA email address, we're piping in the advisor's email address. TAMP, firm name, AI did company firm name. I'm not sure if that's right or if it should just be client input. TAMP master account number. All these, you can see we did our best to map things in when we did have context, but you're going to have to fill in some context to tell us what should be in there. And like these, for instance, are those conditional fields that we looked at earlier. Cool. I see the chat starting to pop up. Are we good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good.
All right. I would spend, this is probably what's going to take you the longest in setting up a new PDF, is you just need to come in here and map your fields. So map your Slant fields into the PDF that you're setting up. This can be kind of cumbersome. But so is filling out a PDF every time, I guess. Filling it out by hand. Cool. Let's keep moving. Signatures here. We're going to add a role. So if you're sending something to a client for signature, you're going to choose that signature field. So if you remember back here, I set 2 fields as the account owner and today's date. That's where these are now showing up. So the signature field is the signature account owner and today's date is the date field. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and save this PDF and let me show you now how to leverage this. So I'll go to a client. I'll go to Jamie Bartoletti. And the way you're going to now use this PDF is you'll click on the 3-dot menu here in the top right and then fill PDF. And that will now show up here. So this shows up. Who is the person? The person is Jamie Bartoletti. And the advisor in this case is Fred Jones. Do you want the document to be editable after fill? Let's say no. You're going to do it all right now. And now here's where you can see the values that are getting piped in. And you can start to type these things in. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. Service team is the Utah team. Telephone number is all these, and you're just filling out all this context, okay? All this information you're filling out. Signature print name, we're just going to put in Jamie Bartoletti. Maybe you want to leave that blank for the client to fill out. And then fill PDF. When your document's ready, you can go ahead and download that, and you'll be able to see, I think I'm sharing my whole screen with you all, that those things should be filled in. I think this is, I opened the wrong one here. It should be this one. Yeah, I think I screwed up my mappings on that. Cool. Questions about how this works or how that'll work for folks moving forward? Nice.
Good job.
This is a quiet group today.
What's your most common form in the chat?
Yeah.
You know what you run into, what you're filling out. If PDF is getting less cumbersome in your life or more. Share the PDF for signature. Can I include signature? Let's talk about signing. Yeah.
Cool. That was in
And
there.
you can get people to sign the doc.
That was in here. Yes, it's
I think maybe like
required.
blow. Like, what is it? Do they get a DocuSign envelope? Who
Yeah.
opens it? Just talk to.
So if default is that Slant will send that out automatically via API to the client. So the client will get um, an email and we'll be able to sign it. They'll sign it. They'll get it. You'll get it back to you via DocuSign. You'll be able to download the filled out form. If you do want it to go from your DocuSign account, you can integrate DocuSign in here, and then it would come from your DocuSign instead of ours via API. But then when you go to a client and you fill out that form, fill it out for Cleveland. Next, fill it. It should give you the option. I think this account is goofed. Should give you the option to send that out. Does that answer that question? I think I'm not mapping it, maybe. I'm mapping it that way.
I think correct me if I'm wrong, but for Schwab forms, and I just saw when you linked clicked on DocuSign that Schwab forms aren't supported, but the client has to verify if you're using Schwab's DocuSign from their system. So is that why it's not supported?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Schwab
yeah,
forms that require Schwab authentication,
it was
you could send, but it would just be a
it's a nightmare
paper.
of
It's
a
like you
yeah.
can't, I can't tap into Schwab's DocuSign.
Right. So you'd have to use the advisor's own DocuSign feature through Schwab, send it through the advisor's own DocuSign, and just get approved that way versus using like the Schwab provided DocuSign. Is that right?
Yeah, on
Okay.
docs where Schwab requires their authentication,
Right.
you still use theirs, but there's a lot more coming with Schwab, which is fun.
Yeah.
The question on Fidelity having some forms locked to prevent editing. Yeah, well, like again, I think each custodian has some forms of like, oh yeah, like it's a document you would just gather and finish on your own versus like you have to use our Rails. Um, this is going to be good. Like I think a better use of this, like yes, you guys run the Schwab statements a lot, but they authenticate it like investment policy statement is like a great example. Like you're using your own, you're getting to make like great. You can make that in here, fill it out, and click send and get them to sign it all from Slant.
Eric. Update on time of this. I don't have a data
I'll keep it in
gap.
chat.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Any questions? Anybody want to chime in on document filler?
Olivia's got a hand raised.
Please, Olivia. Sorry, I didn't see you.
She does. Sorry. And I'm sorry if you already answered this. Our documents are, I'm looking at, I popped in on a Schwab document. Are you guys providing them or the firms are uploading them and creating the fields?
Firms are, that's what we're reviewing is firms will upload them and review the fields.
Okay. And create them themselves. Great. Love it. Everyone make sure that you keep your firm versions up to date. Okay. That's it.
Olivia, what happens if you don't use the up-to-date? Does Schwab just reject it?
So there's usually a 2-month grace period that they'll give you. Most clients are pretty fast, so it's fine. But some things linger, and not usually the forms that would be filled digitally. That's usually like durable power of attorney documents or things that have to be wet signed and notarized. So that wouldn't, although if they're using it to fill it, it may apply. But yeah, the monthly forms bulletin tells you what the deadlines are and when the prior version expires. So you can always refer to that if you need it.
Cool. Thanks for chiming in.
Yep.
Nice. Awesome. Thomas is handling PDF questions in the chat. So if you have questions there, feel free to chime in and he'll answer those. As you give us more and more feedback, though, that helps us make the whole thing better. That's the whole point of this webinar. So give us your pie in the sky dreams, and that's how we inform our product roadmap and how we prioritize things here.
There's some good questions in here about like data gathering, password protecting. I'd say like right now we went from the milestone we passed like, hey, it used to be you'd write our team and we'd help you do a document, and that was sometimes like we are a bit busy and there's a lot going on, so it's slower. So now it's like, great, you guys can execute the documents on your own. So you can upload your own, map it yourself, which is a big win. And then I think like a lot of things we're thinking about in Slant right now are great. How do we help you gather data? How do we make gathering or collecting documents more secure? So those questions I think that are natural appendages to this. That's also natural way our roadmap is moving. We just got to get all those pieces dialed in. So um, yeah. And then Andrew, I'll just read your question out loud. Like if it's not a fillable PDF, you can just put a flat PDF in and map fields. Should be should be
Yeah.
great. So yeah, I think any process where you're like, oh, I'm docu-signing this regularly. Again, like when I hear a lot investment policy statement, like I'm doing this every year or every so often, like great, like make yours a PDF version, map some fields, and then you could just say fill and send, and you could do that for each client, and then that could be a much shorter process.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess with my question, I was trying to upload a document now and it said that it needed to have fillable fields on the PDF already before uploading.
Okay. In that case, maybe for now you can continue to send that to us. It just goes
Yeah.
back to that kind of like delay of how quickly we can get that up for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Send that to us though, because
Yeah, we should see why it won't
Yeah.
take it.
I thought it would. Cool. Great. Let's transition then a little bit. We'll open this up to questions about things. We'll kind of transition to an open office hours style of conversation. So if you have automations that you've been working on that you want help with, anything like that, we're happy to.
There's some good updates in, well, maybe good updates is interesting. We have a team member here, Noah, who has come from a planning background. He need a lot of investment into chat, doing a lot more. I don't know, Noah, do you want to talk about like the boat chat example you went through with I forget who, or I can do it.
Say that one more time.
That change in chat you were showing me yesterday, where you're like the person wants to donate a boat. Like,
Oh yeah. That
talk
was
through
on.
like where that adds value, where you think advisors might want to use it.
Yeah, so we were looking at a case where like in a call, if a client said they wanted to donate a boat and you didn't remember like who that client was, you could go into book chat and then ask it like which client of mine wanted to donate that boat, and then it would tell you which client did that. And then the next step was like, does it make sense to donate the boat directly to a charity, or should we sell it first? And then it was actually pretty good response from the chat, which forget which model we were using, but it was gave us a full breakdown of like, you know, the
Tax implication.
comparisons or everything between that. So I don't know if you want to go
No, that's
show
great.
one of those.
Yeah. Noah's kind of our audit right now of like how good is chat at harder planning questions. So if you run into those as you come up, write Noah an email because we're trying to make that better. But there's a lot of improvements in chat lately. An example.
The ever improving systems, right? One thing we like to say a lot is this is the worst model we'll ever have to use. This is like today's version of Claude or ChatGPT is the worst model we'll ever have to use. So these things just all get better with time. Cool. Like I said, let's transition to kind of open office hours. So if you have questions about how to set things up, how to set up different automations, how to run different reports, let's transition to that, and we'll just kind of field questions live with you.
Okay, Jonathan Rooney is a great question. Book chat referencing custodians, AUM, things like that. Household, struggling more with that. Great feedback. We know. And we're figuring out the context window well for custodian. The fact that it's good in household chat or in book chat is a sign that I think it could get better in household chat sooner. But we always give the chat what they're called tools. And those tools, so a tool inside household chat, right, or in book chat is look at the custodian data. And we're just trying to make sure that tool is really well built before we put it on the household because the context will be pretty tight and we'll need like a really high accuracy when you say, hey, the Clausen household, how much Apple do they have or whatever. We just want to, you don't want to get that wrong. So good question. It should get better in household chat.
Travis asked Chad a question about sole proprietor versus S corp for a client and provided a decent answer. Nice. Okay, Gabriel, I have an investment financial planning agreement. Would it be a good use case for document filler and signature? Anything where you're filling out the same document a bunch of times and you're pulling data that is native in Slant is a good use case for document filler in
And you can
Slant.
just click send. I would say that's a great one. Like,
Yep, that's great.
especially if you feel like, hey, my niche of client is a typical type of user. Like,
Yeah, and then what's helpful too, I don't have it connected on this account, but if you have like your file storage connected, your Dropbox, your Google Drive, you can, well, from that little modal that pops up that says send, this one right here, PDF, just do it really fast. Gosh, the chat's right my way. Next, fill. This little thing that pops up, you'll be able to save it straight to your Google Drive or your OneDrive folder as well. So not just download it, but download it, save to folder,
yeah, so
and
everyone
send it
knows,
to
click
it.
download and maybe just show the record that you can just go into. I don't know if you have connected storage right now.
I don't have connected storage on this account.
But then if you were in your drive, you could just drag it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, Addison, good question on. I've been using prompt snippets to help with our client and making agendas. Okay, how do you get like better information into a snippet? Yeah.
Cool.
I think your snippet, the best way to get more information is going to be to use an automation to do a research step.
Yeah.
Then it could get pretty deep.
So there's a little bit of a difference between prompt snippets and magic buttons here. Prompt snippets, the way this works, it is a simple prompt. It's just a prompt that looks like this, just words. And it tells the LLM, go do all this stuff. And then Slant has tools, like Tom's just mentioned, where we can search meetings, search notes, search email, and it's going to give you a response. A magic button, on the other hand, is triggering a more robust automation. So in this case, we have a move money automation set up that I don't know what this one is. You click that button and it starts a project. So it isn't just giving you an answer, it's doing something. So let's just build one really quickly here.
Yeah, your meeting prep that could be very good is.
Okay, we're going to say on the household, magic button on the household, on the client that is meeting preparation. And you could say, help me prepare for a meeting. This is just the description. And then you're going to have actions in the workflow. So if you want to do a research step, you could research the household and you can give it a much more robust prompt, something that's like, I need your help to prepare for a meeting. Please reference my attached, I don't know, estate plan doc, financial plan doc, plan
In the
document
folder.
in the connected storage folder. Reference all my CRM data, like whatever it is. And then you can, come on now, let's do a email, draft an email. I want you to draft an email to the client that says the email prompt is using the output of the research step. Read the research step. Draft an email to the client to prepare for an upcoming meeting. Okay, so you can give this research step way more context into what you expect it to do. And then, of course, any other actions that you want this magic button to trigger. I would pay special attention to the AI steps. And you could send an internal email to yourself or create a note as well. That's like, let's do that. Let's create a note. Add a note that says meeting prep materials. And we're just going to insert the research step notes. Okay. Meeting preparation webinar. Okay. I'll turn that on. And then I'll go to the client, find a random client, Nina Barrows. And now we have this new meeting preparation magic button. This is much more robust than a prompt snippet. So you kick that off, and it's going to trigger this research step, and it's going to do all those things. It's going to draft that email. So you'll see that email here in line. And then it's going to add that note. So we'll be patient watching it do all of this.
Research takes a while too.
Mhm.
Like if snippets can be better for fast because it's just words.
Yep.
Searching words.
Yep. This also might, I don't have a connected file storage, so it might be unhappy with me, but we'll watch it here. It's drafting the email now. Cool.
Okay.
Here's all that. Here's the meeting prep, so I can go read that. But here's the email. Hi, Nina and Randa. Looking forward to our next meeting. Topics for us to cover, yada, yada. And then, of course, you can reprompt it to rewrite, whatever. And then it should have created a note, meeting prep materials. I couldn't access the attached financial plan document, connect to storage. Yes, because I don't have one. But meeting prep, here you go. So you could do, instead of a note, if you wanted it to send you an internal, like an email that shows up in your inbox and says, hey, Addison, you have a meeting with Nina Barrows. Here's the prep doc. Then it would write out that email for you and give you that agenda. Created by Slant. Cool. Hopefully, sorry, there's been a lot of chats. Hopefully that was really helpful.
Yeah, great.
See
I
that.
think it's a great question. Some other ones, automation template library. Noah, who had chimed in earlier, is building that, which is exciting. We will announce that when it is ready. Other triggers in the works. I'd love to hear from the group triggers you want that we don't have.
Yeah.
Like unmute or jump in the chat. Trigger we don't want that we don't have. We can maybe make a list of those. Shannon, revenue per client is the most fun idea. Max had an idea at one point called book report. That someday when we get all that data, we're gonna do it. But like it'd be like, okay, great, like rough amount of hours you spent with the client, revenue per client, hour per client rate, like calculate it all, give you a report, your exact idea. So we're having there's good momentum on conversation with Orion too. So I'm getting a little bit optimistic, but not too much. I've learned how long integrations take. And then yeah, great questions.
Client move to past client. That's a great trigger.
Oh, interesting.
That's really great.
Like then you have all the
what do you need to do?
Get rid of them offboarding.
Date triggers should exist, Gabriel. You can trigger based on custom dates
in X months or something.
Yep. So I can show that here. My share button go. Here we go. In my account here. Oh no. Yeah, automation. There we go. Start from scratch. Took a minute. So trigger, you could do meeting reminder. That's based on a scheduled meeting. Client custom date reminder. So if you have a custom field for that, so it doesn't allow you to do like on April 15th, do this thing. But you could do it like your January 1st annual email. Yeah. Cool. So if this January 1st was like January 1st, 2024, do you want to do that on that date and it would never trigger, or annually on the same month and day every year on January 1st? But that'd be a cool one, is like allowing it to be on April 15th, do this thing.
Oh yeah, this is like,
you know what I mean, like
recurring tag. It's such a always like an interesting. Where does that live?
Yeah.
Completion of specific task inside a project. Whoa. What would you want to do with that one, Russ? I guess like when yeah, I'm starting to think out loud about that. But if you want to unmute, I think it'd be good to hear like you're specific in your.
I was just trying to build a project the other day for a client, and it was an automation, I guess, and they wanted it when a specific task was finished inside a specific project, but currently you can't break it down that far.
Yeah, that does happen. Add or move
Yep.
items.
Shannon all in on book reports.
Got it. Travis, maybe unmute if you want to talk about this file storage movement thing. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, so I have we have some things set up like if a client become or if a prospect becomes a client, I have like Zap set up for in my Google Drive to move that client from a prospect folder
Sure.
to the client folder. Um,
Yeah.
That's a good
and
one.
then I have some other things happening. I mean, it's not a big deal. Like I said, I have some Zaps to do it already.
Yeah, that's a cool one. Yeah, like there's always something about like we're always curious about where's manual entry we can get rid of. So that's definitely one like, hey, you're just moving it. You know why you move it every time. It's very deterministic.
Yeah. And then like we have kind of like a folder system. And so when that client gets moved or when the prospect becomes a client, that triggers the Zap to then move the templated well, I think I actually have that as a script, but it gets once they move from the prospect folder to the client folder, then something else happens where the folder template gets added to that client's folder.
Yeah. I like
One
that.
one thing that I think is just linking the like we use ShareFile for file storage. So it like in that process, like the household names in the ShareFile folders are the same as the household names in Slant. So I just asked BookChat like, hey, link everything that's unlinked because that is like a manual
No
on
way.
Did
top.
it do it?
It said I can't do it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think that would be also
We
a good
Yeah.
we
like
like we sometimes we err on the side of not giving book chat
Yeah.
superpowers because it doing it wrong is really
Is
costly.
way worse. Yeah.
But that's a good
Yeah,
that's
that's come
fun.
up a few times. Was that David that was talking? I didn't see
yeah.
it. We've gotten that request a few times. It's just we haven't done it because it seems like everybody names their folders a little bit differently and has different expectations about how it would work. And like what Thomas said, it'd be a costly mistake to do it wrong. Like give the Clausen folder to the Neil family in your Slant account would be a mess. So we haven't done that as much. But was there another chat that came in?
There's one that I think is interesting. I want to double click on with the audience here, which is a person custom date field for these particular ages. We definitely know like 59 and a
Yeah.
half matters, 65 matters, RMD. What's the thought of how you'd like that displayed? Like, is the dream world of that a column, like when they'll be 65, or more like a trigger of, like, I don't know. Is it worth making a field for? Is it better just to say when someone is this age, do this thing?
Yeah, like a nudge.
I think a
Yeah.
nudge on the homepage where it's like age-based milestones this week, to
Yeah.
reach out, and then like a draft email. Hey, I noticed you're turning 70, and even like some age things like Social Security where it could be from planning. I just got that right, capital nudge, but like what date age do we have for them to start Social Security? Then that saves and that nudge, or 65 for Medicare, what have you. A nudge with an email
Yeah.
would be my
I
thought.
also think, I think kind of both. Like if I go into holistic plan, I have a client, if I have somebody in there, they just show kind of on there like some tags like, hey, this person's qualifies for QCDs or
Mm.
RMDs. So it could be
Yeah.
like a combination of both. Like if you go into the client, then go go into the household and that person, I'm looking at somebody now that's 73. So they would have like maybe RMD beside their name or something.
Yeah.
Because they're from RMDH.
Yeah. It's always like such an interesting, like, is a tag the right way? Is the automation or
Yeah.
is a nudge? But for everyone who was like excited about that check, I think I had like some hearts and stuff, like person custom date field. I'm just going to custom fields and thinking what the, yeah, probably can't be a date. It's a good one.
There's an interesting hack though. You could do like you could
Field.
do a custom field that's a turns 65 on.
I know that's what I
And then you could AI fill it that says, look, based on their birthday, figure out when they turn 65.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you could set up your automation to say on a custom day when it's that
Yeah, it's very
custom date.
interesting. New custom field
Fun
on
hacking there.
household. Yeah, you can make date custom fields on households. I guess it's not a person. No, it's not a person. Yeah, you can make it. You can make a date custom field in person. So if that is like, hey, I really want that table of just when is someone turning 65,
Yeah, you
you
could.
can go and say when they turn 65. You could call it that. I don't know if people know where to make custom fields on different objects. We can show that quickly. I'll jump into some of these chats on via written while we show that. I think it's worth just everyone knowing where to do custom fields.
Okay, so I would do that in
Setting data and customization.
custom fields. Man, the Zoom thing is just. So you'd create this and be,
When they
I call
turn
this turning 65 on, whatever. It's person and it's a date field. And what you would do is you'd come in here and you'd now find that field. We have a million.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Only three. Oh, you can't do AI filled
Oh, that's okay.
person custom fields. That's a great feature request.
That's cool.
Let me show you what it would be on the household. Let me delete that one.
Yeah, Gabe, great question. Like when you do a custom field, what's better for person or household? Household is the core object of Slant. So I would all unless it's like truly like a birthday is a person, like household doesn't have a birthday, but a person in it does. But for a lot of things, I'd anchor to household when you can, just because Slant is built around the household. Like there's some moments where that causes a little pain, but there's most moments that creates a lot of benefit. And so, um, yeah.
Okay, so I put a custom field on the household. Oh, and I made it a text. It shouldn't be a text. It should be, gosh dang it. I'm moving too fast here. Let's delete it again.
Oh, but you can't link
should be-
person custom fields in automation things. Or
So you'd come in here, turning 65 on, and I'm going to do this, click the little AI sparkle button, and I'm going to say, find the oldest member of based on the birth date of the head of household, calculate when they will turn 65 years old. If my birthday is January 11th, 1994, you should return January, I guess, 0111.
yeah,
Night,
math in public. Always
2059. Run for my clients. I want you to fill with AI, and it's going to start going. So that it might take a moment. Let's see, Bugs Bunny has a birth date, right? Yep, 1984. And now that's going to come in here. It's going to take a minute, but that's where it's going to turn this, set that date. So it's going to set that date for 65 years after your birthday.
Yeah, that on person. Daniel pointed out the main thing in automations, you can't use a person custom field as a thing.
Just the household
I just made
fields.
a note. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's two things there: AI fill, person custom fields, and
person,
trigger
person field trigger.
Person dates. Yeah. Cool.
That's great feedback. Yeah, age-based milestone, and we could probably be like just opinionated and louder about it. Like own some nudges, own a couple. Like that's
for sure.
What's the top 4 dates? Jump in the chat. 59.5. I should know all these at this point.
70.5, 73. But 65.
75.
What do you get 75?
The new R&D.
In a few years.
Okay, 59.5, 70.5, 73, 75. Consensus, those are the big 4.
And 65, I heard.
65. Okay.
59.5, 65, and RMD if you can implement the new and old RMD rules.
Yeah. Inherited RMD, everyone starts freaking me out, but someday. Okay. Cool. This is great.
Very helpful. Cool.
Thanks, everybody.
I got one.
Yeah,
go ahead,
Travis.
I've brought this up before, but when you complete a milestone in projects, if you don't do all the tasks prior to having the option to have them all completed automatically. So if I go from one milestone to another in the project, to just have if I've already done them, but I just didn't go through them and individually complete them.
By moving from milestone 1 to milestone 2, your dream would be all of milestone 1's tasks get auto completed.
Yes.
Okay.
Or have the option. Like, so if I go to projects, if I complete a project, If I go to three dots, complete project, it says, "Hey, do you want to complete all the tasks?" And I just click yes. Because there's sometimes I just know what to do. So I,
But moving from one milestone to the next doesn't. Okay, that's interesting.
yeah.
Oh, it does it at the end of the project.
If you complete the project, it does, but not if you complete the
Got it.
milestone.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. The default, like, as I'm sure you know, Travis, the history of projects is the opposite of that. When you complete the projects, it automatically moves you milestones, not milestones
Mhm.
complete the project. So I imagine there's probably some re-engineering as far as the relationship between milestones and projects. Um, Jason, how do you chat into support? Great question. If you are in your Slant account and you click on in the top right, there's a question mark icon. You can chat with our support team.
For that one, do a human and say Thomas and
Yeah,
Hayden said I need
yeah,
to log this.
yeah. There's usually two options there. There's like a um, chat with the AI, and the AI has context into like all of our support docs and past chats and can help you answer questions really quickly. And the second option is chat with a human. That's usually a bit slower, but um, more contextual.
But McCabe, who's an amazing human.
Yeah.
Great. Any other questions from the crowd?
I have one. So I'm building like the projects and automations workflows library. If there's anything besides like a client onboarding or move money, annual review, promote the client, like please let me know. You can let me know now, or I can send a follow-up email and you can chat me there. But I'd love to, just know what people are using as like default workflows and build them out.
That's great. No,
Cool.
sweet. My big takeaways. Think about some age-based nudges,
Yeah.
people, field triggers,
Yep.
and Jason, write in and just like that's feedback for us of how to make it better. It's the
Yep.
first day it's live for not our team to fill. So I think we know how to like resize a text box and we got to teach it. Cool. Thanks,
Hey,
everybody.
everybody. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Travis.
Bye bye.